Hey y'all, I'm Takia. Today I'm back with another video, and today I'll be talking to y'all about the things I have learned in my 20s. The first thing I learned in my 20s is that if something seems too good to be true, most likely it is. I had just kind of like jumped into a relationship really quickly with that person. We had met probably in May, and 3 weeks after we met, we were in a relationship. And looking back on that, that was not smart. I should have taken the time to evaluate that person. I should have taken a while to evaluate them and not let them rush me into a relationship when I was not even ready. Looking back, I was not ready to even be in a relationship at that point. I should have just, looking back on it, if I could have done it differently, I definitely would have taken my time and gotten to know him better, because the truth is, you don't know a person until they get mad. When somebody gets mad, that's when you really know them. Or if money is involved, and if you haven't seen how they act around different people in different settings, their family members, their friends, in a group setting, you don't know them. But especially when they get mad, and especially when money is involved, people lose all sense when money is involved, especially. So all those great things that I said about this person at first, he turned out to be the complete opposite. So going forward, the only thing I would do differently is take my time. Take my time. I want to see what you're like in different environments, in different settings. When you get mad, how do you handle conflict? If we were to have an issue, would we be able to sit down and talk about it? Would you storm out? Would you throw a temper tantrum? Would you resort to putting your hands on me? Would you be more so like an emotional, abusive type of person? I would like to know that before I would move forward with somebody going forward. And that's the advice that I would give everybody my age. You don't have to rush into a relationship with somebody just because it feels good right then. Just because you getting that little butterfly tingling feeling right then doesn't mean you will always have that. Doesn't mean they're gonna always be that person. You have to, you have to use your common sense. So that's what I would definitely do differently, and no shade. The next thing I learned is that life is not a race. Life is not a race, millennial people. You do not have to rush and finish school because your peers finished school earlier than you. You do not have to have a baby just because your friend or your cousin or somebody had a baby before you. You don't have to get married because people around you got married before you. It may not be your time. When you rush things, just like what I just said before, when you rush things, sometimes it don't come out the way that you planned it. Sometimes rushing is just not a good thing to do, because you might not know what you're getting yourself into. You might regret what you signed up for. So take your time. If you are in school and you're not, and you got knocked down a couple times, maybe you flunked out, maybe you had to sit out, maybe you had to take a break, maybe you changed your major and it pushed you back. Don't worry about it. Like, just get back up and try it again. School is always going to be there. That's the thing about it. It's always going to be there. It's people in their 50s and 60s going back to school. I have taken classes with people of that age, and they have gone back to school. I have been in positions where I had to sit out from school, where I changed my major and it pushed me all the way back. So, but thank God, I had to sit out and I had to pay for school, and I was driving back and forth an hour to an hour and 30 minutes every other day to go to work to pay for school, because I was determined. I said, you know what, living here with my mom, and she's wonderful, it has nothing to do with her, but living here with my mom and just living here under her roof and having to work like this and working the job, and especially working at the place that I was working at, I said, that was motivation for me to finish paying it off, to do what I had to do to get back in school. And what's great is that once I finished, once I got through that, you know, I was really happy. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to go back to school until January, and here I am back in school. I'm in my own place again, and you know, it's just great. It's lit, like, you know. So then you don't have to rush things. They're gonna come in its own time, as long as you are patient and as long as you are working hard. You know, it's gonna come regardless. So it's not a race. You know, don't compare yourself to your friends and your peers and the people you see on social media, because one thing about it, you don't know what these people have to go through to get to where they are. You don't know. So you just worry about you and you stay in your lane and everything will be good. The next thing I learned in my 20s is that if you have a dream or a vision or something that you want to do, like you have this thought that just keeps occurring in your mind, and you just have this burning desire to do it, by all means do it. And don't be afraid to fail, because whereas you might fail, it's not about how you fall, it's about how you get up, you know. So you don't know whether you're going to fail or succeed if you don't try. You know, it wouldn't hurt to try. You have nothing to lose. Just do it. And who knows, you know, you might succeed at it if you have the mindset that I'm going to go into this and I'm going to do well in it. I'm going to do all I can to do well in it. And if you do everything that, you know, that you have to do to succeed, I don't see why you couldn't do it. So, you know, just try to get rid of these doubts that you have about yourself, that you're not going to do well, that, you know, that you're not going to succeed in whatever it is. You know, don't sit and talk yourself out of it. Don't look at it as if like, oh well, other people are doing the same thing, and you know, I don't want to do the same thing as somebody else. Okay, maybe you are doing it and there's other people doing it, but guess what? Can't nobody do it like you. That's how you have to look at it. You are you. You are unique because you are you. So of course, when you do something and it's the same thing that somebody else is doing, or a couple of other people are doing the same thing, they doing it, but they're not doing it like you. Another thing that I had to learn in my 20s is that it's okay to be alone. It is okay to be alone. Like, you get some of the best, like you do some of your best work when you are alone. You get a lot of things accomplished when you're alone, when you don't have people around you to distract you. The way I see it is that if you don't serve much purpose in my life, if you don't bring out good in me, if you don't support me, if you don't encourage me, and if I can't look at you and say, wow, like, you know, this person is really inspiring to me, like, I just don't want you around me, period. So, you know, you have a peace of mind when you are by yourself. I ain't saying you have to be lonely. I mean just alone, like you just not too much, you're not really bothered with people, you know, people who don't mean you well. You know, you're more productive when you're by yourself sometimes too. It's okay. Like, you don't have to always have a crowd of people around you, and you don't have to always be in a relationship. Like, you don't have to be, you just don't be so friend needy or so boyfriend or girlfriend needy. You know what I'm saying? You see people on social media and you see these relationship goals and friendship goals, and you do not know what's going on in these people's lives. You don't know what's going on in these people's lives. For all you know, that man or they could be cheating on each other. And they could be fighting every day. For all you know, those friends could be snakes. One of them friends could be a snake. One of them could be, you know, you just don't know. One of them could be stealing from the other one. One of them could be talking to the other one's boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. You just don't know. You cannot go by what you see on social media all the time, because everything you see and most of the things that you see on there, it's not real. I can vouch for that. You know, most people are not going to like showcase their failures. They're not going to show you what they had to go through to get to where they are. They're not going to show you the hardships and stuff that they're facing in their friendship or relationship or whatever. You know, they're going to, you know. And another thing I had to learn in my 20s is that it's okay to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. For example, I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel. I tried it at first. I tried to do like makeup and stuff like that, and I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really feeling it just being solely a makeup channel, because I kind of like just sitting in front of a camera talking about stuff like this, you know. And I didn't want it to be just a makeup channel by itself. So I was just afraid at one point to just put myself out there to talk about stuff like this, because I didn't know how I would approach it. I didn't know how it was gonna, you know, come off on camera, you know. But then you know, recently I said, you know what, this is something that I want to do, and it's something that I want to do, and the purpose of it is to like help other people and be relatable to people. So why not? There were people who were saying negative things like I'm seeking it. They're just not gonna get it. It's gonna be a lot of negative things said, because I mean, small towns equal small minds, and I'm just being honest. Then it's like once I went to school and stuff, I just started seeing the world differently. I just started seeing things differently. Like I've always been an open-minded person. And that's the thing. You have to be open-minded, and you just can't. You just have to stop giving a fuck what people think about you. People have certain people have issues with the way I dress, and the way I see it is you don't even like, some people motives is just to be a hater. Period. Like are you mad because you can't put on a one piece and walk outside and feel comfortable in your skin? I mean, you have to think about the reasons that these people are saying negative things about you. And it could be possible that they are hating. So, you know, you got to take that into account. But again, don't be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to put yourself out there. You know, especially if you're trying to do something like YouTube, or you're trying to do something with Instagram. You're trying to be like a social media influencer for Instagram, or something social media related, or even if it's not on social media. You know, if you want to start a business, you know, you have to put yourself out there. So don't be afraid, and don't let negativity stop you from doing it, because you're going to be mad at yourself later on. Another thing that I learned in my 20s is to love yourself. Love yourself. I know that sounds so cliche, but it's so much that comes with that. It's so much that comes with loving yourself. Loving yourself, you know, if you were in a bad relationship, don't you know walking away from that was an act of loving yourself? You loved yourself enough to get the fuck out of that situation. You know, let me give you a clap, because, you know, you loved yourself enough to get out of it. If you had you were at a job that, and your boss treat everybody like shit. You quit the job. You know what you did? You know what that was? There was an act of self-love. You had enough dignity and pride to walk away from the job because it wasn't healthy for you to be there. I think it's more to self-love than just pampering yourself or going out with your friends and having a good time, having fun or whatever. I think self-love is the things that you do or you decide not to do, or the things that you decide not to put up with, that keep you from being in harm's way. They keep you from being hurt. They keep you from being in a position to where you not feeling great about yourself. So, you know, it's more to it than that. Another thing I would say is that it is okay to be selfish sometimes. I don't mean like just selfish to where you can't help people sometimes, but definitely don't be a fucking fool. You know, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to help people at times as well, but don't be nobody's fucking fool. If you are helping somebody and they can't be there for you when you need them, don't help them no more. Period. Don't help them. Like, they don't deserve your help. They're not there for you when you need them. So why continue to help them? Like, you putting yourself in jeopardy, you know, and then they taking advantage of you. That's not self-love, letting somebody take advantage of you. So you have to be selfish sometimes, and you have to show people, look, you know, I'm a nice person, I'll help you, but the minute I feel like you taking advantage of me, I'm not fucking with you. You know, just like that. They say, you know, when people say people can't do any more than you allow them to do, that's true. I think a lot of us keep people in our lives because we are afraid to lose them. What are you afraid of losing? When you're a good person and you know you genuine about your shit, you don't lose people. Honey, people lose you. If you know certain people do not fit the standard that you're trying to set for your life, the goals that you have in the future, your vision, you know, get rid of them. Get rid of them. That's not to feel like you better than somebody, but you damn sure are too good for them apparently. Like it's like trying to fix a piece of a puzzle into a puzzle that it doesn't fit in. Well, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope y'all learned something. I hope you learned something about me. If you can relate to a lot of the things that I touched on today, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments. Let's talk about it. And subscribe and make sure you click the bell so you can get notifications whenever I upload. So with that being said, bye.